Alright, so this video is about character creation. This is the first thing you do with your players when you introduce the Lightraider system. It's important that you do this character creation and then give them time, perhaps a day or two before your actual first practice episode. The reason is that in their cadet handbook there is the adventure journal at the back, and in the adventure journal there are 2-page sections for every episode that include the Bible verses that they're going to use during the episode with applications that they'll also use, and then things that tell them how to act during the game. For instance, when they get perhaps an infection in battle, and then recommended readings that will give them hints that they need during the episode. So do the character creation and then set your date for your first practice episode that will give them time to review those Bible verses, and they'll have Bible verses to review before every episode. Your character creation is in your rules and introduction book, and so you'll see it on this page. Note in this page that you have the read to player sections, which are the little blue circle with the book, and then you have for the Adventure Master section. That's you're the Adventure Master, with the maroon or burgundy circles with the Wise Owl glasses. So the read to players are rote. You can just read those. Those are story pieces and introduction pieces for the players. For the AM circles are information for you. It tells you what to do, like what pieces to lay out on a map, or how to guide your players through their first battle, things like that. So that's how those work. We'll go ahead and jump in. We create our characters in 9 quick steps. Each of the players should have one of their character sheets, and we're just going to fill this out step by step using the box on this page in your rules and introduction book. So right here are the 9 quick steps to creating a character. So the first step, step 1, is to distribute their core strengths. Those represent the fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. So we call those the core strengths in the game, and they get scores that they're going to increase as they grow their characters, but they have a starting set of scores that are listed there in step 1 for you. So they get 1 6, 2 5s, 3 4s, 2 3s, and a 2 to distribute among their 9 core strengths. They can choose which one is their strongest and which one is their weakest. In Lightraiders, we often roll 3 dice, and we either take the highest number, the second highest number, or the lowest number. So just remember that when we say middle value, it's the second highest number, not the middle die as it lays on the table. So for this step, we're going to roll 3 star lots, take the highest number, and that is the player's initial amount of wisdom points, and they're going to write that into the wisdom points or WP box on their character sheet. Okay, so are you all ready? Roll the 3 dice, take the highest number, write it in the WP box on your character sheet. Now on to step 3. This time we're only going to roll 1 star lot, and we're going to add that number to 25 to determine the vitality threshold. This is the amount of damage that a player can take or a Lightraider can take before being out of the battle. So we're going to roll 1 star lot, we're going to add that number to 25 and write that number in the VT or vitality threshold box on our character sheet. Now it's time for the players to choose their items that they'll carry. Now they have 10 item slots on their character sheet in this box right here, but they'll only start with 3 items. So step 4 is to choose 3 starting items, and the players can find those items, those common items, listed right here in their cadet handbook. So they can take a look at what they are and what they want to carry. It's important for them to write common before the name of the item on the slot on their character sheet, and also to leave that target minus box empty. That target minus box is there for when they get better quality items. It reduces the target they have to roll to accomplish something, and so it makes a task easier if you have a higher quality item. These are common items. They're really not going to do that for you, so leave that box empty. Okay, now it's time to choose our weapons. We chose 3 items. Now we're going to choose 2 weapons and write them on our character sheet. You can find the weapons listed in your cadet handbook on the next page right here. And these are common weapons, so they don't do a lot of damage. So on your character sheet, you're going to leave the damage plus box, that's the little heart with the bandage on it, blank. And you're also going to leave the level box blank because you haven't trained with these weapons. So choose 2 weapons, write common in front of them, so common sword or common staff, and write those in the weapon section on your character sheet and leave the little boxes next to them blank. Okay, we've chosen our weapons and our items. Now it's time to choose the abilities in which we have some training when we first show up at Lightraider Academy. You'll find your 12 abilities in your cadet handbook, so you can read more about those and how they're categorized later. For now, we're just going to choose 2 abilities in which you have training. So look on the right side of your character sheet where the 12 abilities are listed. Next to each ability, you see some initials. AP for Apprentice, JR for Journeyman, AC for Accomplished, and MA for Master. We're going to choose just 2 abilities and we're going to circle AP next to each of those abilities. So choose any of the 12, 2 abilities in which you want to have some training, and circle the initials AP next to each of those abilities. Now that you've chosen the abilities that you have some training in, you can write down your targets for each of your abilities. So here in that target column, you're going to write down, this is the number that you have to roll to beat when you're using that ability during the game. So if you're untrained and you didn't write anything next to it in the levels of training, then you're essentially a level 0 or untrained. And so beside all of those abilities, write 8 in the target column. Next to the ability that you wrote, or the abilities that you wrote AP or level 1, write a 7. Now look at the battle section underneath the abilities on the right side of your character sheet. You'll see boxes for speed and might. We use your move and your exert targets to calculate those. So for your speed, look up at your move target and subtract that from 9. So 9 minus your move target equals your speed. That's for you going to be 1 or 2. So go ahead and write that in the box next to speed in the battle section on your character sheet. For your might, do the same thing but with exert. So look at your exert ability and the number you wrote in the target column next to your exert ability. That's either going to be 7 or 8. Your might equals 9 minus your exert target. So it's either going to be 9 minus 8 or 9 minus 7. So your might is going to be 1 or 2. So go ahead and write that number in your might box in the battle section of your character sheet. Now our Lightraiders teens here have come up with a fun thing that they can do for naming their characters that's has to do with making these tutorial videos. So go ahead, tell us what your names are going to be.
Like, comment,
subscribe.
So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on any of the Lightraiders YouTube videos.